Good morning, everyone. It's shortly after 6 a.m. Our homemade alarm clock just went off, so it's time to get up. It's okay though, because we have a bit of a trek this morning, so we need to get on the road earlier. It's about 3 hours away from where we are right now, where we're going. Johnny's up with the little one, so I'm gonna get up and get us some coffee so we can function a little bit normally, and then we're going to get on the road and head out and see where we're headed. Hey everyone, so we're just at the Pine Valley restaurant in, is it Griffith?
Yeah.
We just stopped to get a bite to eat, some homemade egg McMuffins or egg muffins, and some homemade donuts which look phenomenal. I'll just turn the camera around for a minute. In there they got blueberry and apple fritter. So yeah, we're heading down to southeastern Ontario today by the St. Lawrence to check out a compound where Canada's most notorious and most dangerous people called Home Sweet Home. If you know where that is, I'm sure you're well aware that it is the beautiful Kingston Penitentiary. So we're gonna go check it out and see what kind of vibes we pick up, and we're going to check out some of the other areas of Kingston, take in some of the architecture, and hopefully get some good food while we're there, and brush up on our history. So yeah, hopefully you join us, and it should be an interesting day. We're really kind of excited to just see what's on the go. Our pilot for today. All right, we aren't heading right to the pen just yet because we're a little bit early, but there it is, the beginning of it anyways. So we're gonna head down to the harbor, and I'm not sure if you can hear me over the radio, sorry. We're gonna head down to the harbor and feed the baby and take in some of the sights, and then we're gonna hopefully find a yummy place for lunch, and then come back and check out this historical piece of Canada. We're just down at the waterfront here because our tour for the pen isn't until this afternoon.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day here. We're just going to come down and check out. There's a old school steamboat and some other charter boats that go out into St. Lawrence and do tours of the, I think it's like the Thousand Island tours, something like that. We don't have enough time today to do that, but maybe next time.
Island.
Oh, that's cool. That's like Yellow Brick Road, but with like brewskis and like cruise
ships.
lines and ships and stuff. Yeah. Very cool.
Honestly, really all you have to do is...
Yeah, St. Lawrence Cruise Lines, right there. Neat. And that's beautiful St. Lawrence. Hey guys, so we just stopped for lunch and we're at the, where are we, hon? It doesn't say. Oh, the Wooden Heads Pizza. It's a brick oven pizza place and was recommended by one of our friends back home. So we just ordered 2 of their local beers. One being, just bear with me here, I'm reading off the menu. One being the McKinnon Bros 8-Man, and the other one being the Helios Lager.
The Nona Melon, I'll try that. You're getting which one?
I'm getting the Dynamo 2.0, and which one are you getting? The Nona Mela?
Yeah. They're very similar. No, I'll get the Monet, and I'll try yours. Yours is similar.
Hey everyone, so we made it to the Kingston Pen. We're going to head in there shortly. And safety first. We aren't allowed, I don't think, to video while we're inside due to legal reasons. And it's a National Historic Site now, so I'm not going to be disrespectful towards that. And to be honest, I don't want any correctional officers yelling at me, and I don't have money for a fine today. So we're going to take some pictures and hopefully run some audio over it, some commentary afterwards, and it'll work out okay. We just finished lunch. We're just getting the baby harnessed up and we're going to go out to the front. We will try to, you can come in this shot, hon. We'll try to video what we can, but if we can't, then obviously it'll just be some pictures. If you guys don't know much about the Kingston Pen, it is Canada's most notorious and infamous penitentiary. It was built in 1835, and I believe one of the first inmates was like 8 or 9 years old, and it was for larceny back in 1836 or something, I suppose. But it's been home to the likes of Paul Bernardo, Stephen Truscott, and let me think, as well as Clifford Olson. So they've had some pretty high profile inmates inside. Like I said, it is home sweet home, or was home sweet home until 2006 when they closed down due to the disrepair of the building. And most of the inmates were shipped to Millhaven, which is close by as well. So we're headed in there, guys. If any of you are fascinated as much as I am with the psyche of the human mind and human behavior, you're going to know the evil versus good, the nature versus nurture, and sanity versus insanity. Great debates, and I could be here for hours talking about it. Let us know down in the comments what you think.
Hi folks. So here we are back in the car. We finished the tour. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was a really interesting tour. If anyone's in the area or ever intrigued by anything, criminology, psychology, law, anything like that, or just like really into the murder shows or true crime shows, definitely check out the Kingston Pen tours. We did the extended tour, which was 2.5 hours. And they brought you through like certain areas that usually aren't shown, like the gym and the school. There was, what other place? There was a few other places like the workshops and not workshops, work placements. That's the proper term. Yeah. And I also wanted to clarify
It was in operation until 2013, not 2006.
Yes. And the first, I did say that the first inmate was 8 years old, but wasn't in for larceny, was in for pickpocketing. So that was kind of interesting that you could be sent away at the age of innocence for years for just, you know, stealing a loaf of bread or taking someone's 5 cents out of their pocket.
Another one that we got to see, that I don't think was on a normal tour, because we saw normal tour come out and they didn't go over where I'm about to mention, is the family visitation compound. It's like little apartments for people that don't have the opportunity to come from, say, Alberta or other parts of the country just for a half an hour visit or an hour visit with the person, their loved one, or in the jail. They can actually spend a day in this.
Kind of like conjugal visits, but like as a family unit, which I thought was pretty interesting, because not every prison or pen actually has, like, and it's apartments, which was really neat.
Now, as for, we should clarify, we don't know, like Em said, conjugal visits, there's not necessarily, we don't even know if there's beds or anything in these units, but I think it's meant more for people that have an actual family that are
like children or spouse or common law partner, they said. The tour guide, David, was excellent. And we also had certain stops where, like I said before, ex-correctional officers spoke about their life inside. And they were all fantastic. The stories they told and the experiences they had were very true to what you would expect. Maybe not so much glamorized in the TV world, but if you're into any of the criminal world, you would know. I did mention to John this morning that this would be my second time inside a penitentiary. The first time it was because I actually went for correctional officer as a career many moons ago. I declined that job, obviously. If you know what I do, it's very similar, but just different aspects of the whole career path, I guess. And that was when I was living in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland.
Another thing too is different people felt different things, but there were some pretty heavy areas in the prison. I actually had a little bit of an experience in the one area. I won't mention it because a lot of people don't believe in that stuff, but
there's a lot of, it was very like heavy feeling, very, like, there was angry feelings, there was sadness, like just a lot of mixed emotions. There was no area that I found would be happy times.
No. Well, and I don't think a prison ever really has happy times.
No, I know. But I'm sure the inmates made their own happy times.
Yeah.
They spoke about the inmates looking out for other inmates and kind of inciting riots, which Kingston Ped had 3 riots. The last one being in 1992 or 1972?
1971.
Okay.
And that's the one he was talking about where I had that moment.
Yeah.
Where I had to walk away.
Yeah.
Let's just say I felt the anger, the whatever started it all, or the victims involved.
Yeah. Like, we started outside and it was nice and it's beautiful out today, and then as we progressed, like I said, the different correctional officers spoke about stories of, like, escapes. The last one being in 1999, where the gentleman, I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
So that's the one he was telling the big story about?
Yeah.
Ty Khan.
He used to work in 2 work placements and basically jimmied a ladder out of like a storage unit, like a storage unit rack, made a ladder, and then hiked a rappelling line over the wall and escaped that way.
Used rebar.
But he escaped because he stayed in one of the work units hidden under the Canada Post bags that they used to make for Canada, because they had like a 90-year contract. So just different things like that. There was another one, like, back in the day, I want to say like gangster time. There was like one of the one of the inmates hid a gun in one of the bumpers of
one of the staff members' vehicles, and then another inmate tried to hid in the trunk, and another one hitched a ride in the vehicle. And when they got into the main gate and he got out of the vehicle, they both jumped out, grabbed the gun and the bumper, and shot him.
And then took off in the vehicle and
the
escaped.
whole story, he was born, raised, and worked and murdered.
Yeah, he's the only
At
correctional
Kingston
officer in Canada to ever have his whole life on the compound, which I thought was wild.
Like
But it was back in the early times of the Kingston pen, like back in 1835, 36. No, it wouldn't be that. Cars weren't invented then.
No, I don't remember the years. It wasn't
Definitely
that early.
wasn't that. No, sorry.
It would have been in the 1900s somewhere.
Yes, I know with your fingers. Yeah, they're delicious. I want to talk about. Oh, they also have like an indigenous area where we weren't allowed to take photos out of respect of the lands of the people, which I totally
And their
did,
belief.
and their beliefs. But they did have a teepee, and they also spoke of a sweat lodge and the rituals that the indigenous people still practice today. And there was another. Oh, the fire pit. He spoke about there's a fire pit still standing there.
Yeah, for the stones to do the sweat lodge.
Yeah. So I thought that was very inclusive of a penitentiary. That I'm not too sure this day and age if they do that still, or if they kind of try to include people of all walks of life, or not. But I thought that was really neat. I also found, when we were going through the certain cell blocks, you have seen in the pictures, the opening is actually divided by that.
Well, yeah, it was
like the opening to the door. There was actually a wall that would have stood there, so the entranceway was like literally 2 feet. Not 2 feet.
Not even 2 feet.
To get
the
in.
room itself was like 2 feet wide. The bunk, the tiny little wee bunk, took up the whole room. There was no latrine in there. There was no shelving for personal effects. It was just their bed, their bunk. That was it.
Yeah.
No room to move. I guess someone's signaling that's the end of our video.